I've got my nails all ready and prepped. I've got my peel off base coat on. And like I promised, I'm going to use these tips. These are the ones with the V cut for a well instead of the moon cut. So that's the ones I'm going to use. And actually, when I looked at the listing, on the listing, I saw that it had that these were thick. So that's why they're so thick at the ends. They're meant to be. I don't know why I didn't notice that before. And I don't see where it says it on the package itself. But yes, on the listing it does say that they're extra thick tips. But they're not thick at the cuticle. They're not thick up here. Just down here. So they're very sturdy. I've picked out my sizes. Got my little flash cure lamp I'm gonna use. And I'm just gonna glue them on with Beetle's base gel. This is my favorite thing to glue it on with when I'm not trying to make a instant pop off set. So I'll glue a couple with you. Show you how I do so. Now, like I said, I've got a peel off base coat on. I just go ahead and I paint the whole nail again. And then these are new because the triangle, so I'm just going to put a little on either side of the triangle. See how that goes. So this is the first time for me too on this type of tip. I like to meet up the sides. And it gives you that, which doesn't look too bad. It feels sturdier than a normal tip. And it also makes it easier to get straight on the first try. I'll show you what I mean. Let me bring you in some. Now see a fingernail? You've got a corner on either side. I don't pay attention to this too much because if you get this corner right here, it comes over and meets the same over here and your nail is straight. See? Comes out straight. So it's actually easier to line up than the other tips. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on with you, and then I'll come back after I have all 10 of them on. And I'm just putting the smallest amount, like this and like this, after I paint my entire nail. And again, I'm meeting this corner to this side and this corner to this side, and then it comes out straight. They're pretty neat. And like I said, they feel sturdier than your normal tips. I guess because there's so much on the nail plate, maybe. But comes out straight, very easy. And also, with regular nail tips like these, if your nails dent in like mine do on the sides because I've damaged them or they've been pinched, I've done that to them too a long time ago. This part, well, that nail doesn't do it. We'll just act like this is big enough. This tip right here stands up. It doesn't clasp the nail. So then you end up having to hold that down. With these, you don't have that problem. I wish they made these in, you know, longer length and different shapes. But you know, if you want a coffin, you just clip off the tips. I suppose you don't have to line up the sides that far back. I did, but yeah, I like them. So I'll come back when I'm done. So I've stuck these in the lamp to fully cure them. And I'm going to do the other hand. But yes, you have to put it in the lamp after you flash cure them on for 60 seconds. Now the numbers to the tips are in this little triangle here, and they're on top. They're right here, and they're on top. You can feel it on top. So when you go to file, you'll take that number right off. So that's even better than it being down here. So let me finish this one. All right, they're all fully cured. Oh, I did get one crooked. I managed that. She's a little crooked. It's watching my show and paying good attention. Yeah. It's not that bad. It's fine. I'm gonna go through and file around this V shape. See how that goes? That's the only thing I was worried about as far as this goes. You know, the V shape. So, gonna see how well that works out for me, because it is thinner than the rest of the tip, but the tip is thick. And I also want to try a new product. It's one that I've had for a while. I just didn't try it yet. So, we will see. Well, it blends pretty easily. Okay, well that's great then. That is perfect. So, keep going off screen. There we go. Yeah, these blend pretty well. Yeah, those blend very, very easily. I'm hoping that you can hear me well. I've had some complaints about not being heard well enough. So I'm trying to enunciate my words better and closer to the mic until I get me a new microphone in. Go. Oops. And we'll do this side. I'm gonna finish this up and I'll come back. Yeah, that's gonna bother me that that's crooked. See how crooked it is. So I'm gonna soak that off and start over on that one. So I suppose, well, what am I talking about? It's got peel off base coat. I can just use the remover. Yep, don't like that. So we're gonna get it off of there. I can say this is the first tips I ever got that a size 2 fits my thumb. It's usually the 0 doesn't even fit it. So I'm gonna buy these in a different shape. It doesn't have the same well on it, but a different shape to see if they're all sized like that. I feel like all tips should be sized like that so people with wider thumbs can wear all tips. But that's just me, I suppose. Well, it can't be just me. I know other people feel the same way. Try and get this tip off. I don't know why I've buffed it down. I was going to try and go with it, but it isn't going to work. It's irritating me just knowing that it's crooked. So, and even though this set will probably stay on a week or so, well, that's not good. A week or so, I still want it to be on there right. So now you get a little removal moment as well. Try not to let that stuff get on my other nails. Maybe you get a removal moment this way. Don't know. It's really on there. I might have to soak it off with acetone. Which I also have to be careful with around the other tips. Okie doke. So be it. Yeah, let me get this off and come back. All right, got it off. That is one sturdy tip. And even with all that stuff on it, I mean, it's sticky, so it's melting, but look at that tip. I'm impressed. No, I'm sorry. I guess I have a 1 on my thumb and a 2 on my middle finger. But that's fine, too. I thought I had a 2 on my thumb. Nope. Let me get another 2 out. Now I'm going to file off the rest of this and start this nail over again because I want the adhesion to be good. Alcohol cleared off. And start how I always start. I'm clear this off first though. And get me another dental bib. Here we go. Now we have to get our protein bond dehydrator, peel off base coat, and Beetle's base gel. I open them all at once. I know it's not good for the protein bond because it evaporates in the dehydrator, but it is what it is. There that goes. All right. Dry that off, let it dry. Okay, now that the primer has dried, put me a coat of my peel off base coat, which is the Jello. It works exceptionally well. I have no qualms about it. It is my go-to, and I've tried a few of them, but this one works best for me. I'm gonna give that a 60-second cure. All right, gotta get my flash cure lamp out again. Try this one more time. Base coat on the natural nail. Take the tip. Put gel on this side and gel on this side. And let's try and get it straight this time. You know, like I thought I had it last time. They're pretty easy to get straight. I just must have not been paying attention. There's even a line down the middle of it. There we go. She's straight now. Thank goodness. Now I'm gonna do the filing to her like I did the other ones and come back. Okay, on these tips, they might have came in a box, but they have just a little malformation at the end where they've been snapped off because, you know, they're plastic or whatever. So let's sharpen that up. Didn't take much. I'm really loving these tips. I think you would too if you get them. Yes, very nice tips. I mean, look how fast this is just to shape up the tip. All right. Now to show you the product I was talking about. It's nothing new per se, but I've had it for a while. I tried using it one time with dual forms and it just popped right off my nail. But to be fair, I wasn't trying to make it stay on there. I just want to see what it looked like. So we're gonna try it. You can see the part that I tried and put back in here, so let's steer away from that. I didn't realize dust got into it. When they advertise this product, they advertise it like you don't need it to be thick for it to work. It's just a solid builder gel. Which I I want to try and see, can I make it well? I need to wipe my nails down. I want to see if I can kind of pat it down there, you know, on there with the silicone tool, and might need alcohol, I'm not sure. Because these tips are so thick, I'm guessing this needs just a very light layer. So, I'm going to try and pat it the way I want it. Get some alcohol on my silicone tool and see, can I do it kind of like polygel but stiffer. Let's see here. Let's see what we can do here. This might prove to be a little harder. Not undoable, but quite more difficult to get a shape that you want. But this is so clear, that's the main reason I got this product, how clear it dries, you know, it cures. It does have a bit of violet color in the formula, so it doesn't yellow, supposedly. So that's why I wanted it. That is so clear. And in the video it was saying how it doesn't need to be so thick to be sturdy, which I don't know about that. I'm pretty rough. And then whatever's left at the edge, when you're done spreading it out, clearly you just take off. Let's see here. Let's see. Now see, that's really humped up. I think maybe use a dual form with the tips, and maybe that would help. But then it always wants to squish out of the sides. And I don't want to deal with the squished out the sides aspect of it. Well, I got a good apex going. Trying to make it as smooth as possible for less filing. Yeah, that could work. Yes, that could work well. I also want to see the durability of it, how long it stays on. You know, if the adhesion is well or not. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a learning curve to this, definitely. If you're not using the dual forms, definitely a learning curve. This may be a while. And you shouldn't be touching this with your hands. It is not TPO HEMA free that I know of. So I guess what I'm saying is this is a learning curve, but if you see how clear that is, like really clear, it would be great for clear nails. Perfect for encapsulation, like if you put like a base gel down and then you put whatever you're going to put on it and then put this over top of it, it would be great. This is too stiff to use a brush on, even when you use the alcohol. So you're going to do some filing. Maybe not a lot if you get better at it, but some. But you got to catch it for 60 seconds too, which is what I'm going to do. And then I'll move on to the other ones. I think the next one I'll try with the dual form. See what happens. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm curing this right now. And I have to tell you, there is a heat spike. It's not a bad one, but it's enough that you can feel it. So I would say put on thinner layers, but it's kind of hard as stiff as it is. I think the only one I'm going to do with that is the thumb now that I'm going through this. The rest of them, I'm not using this. It's kind of intense. I'm thinking I'm going to do builder gel nails. I'm going to try some builder gel nails for a change. 60 seconds. Got our apex. Of course, I'll be filing that down. But it does dry with a tacky layer, like any other builder gel. Go. Oh yeah. Yeah, clean the dispersion layer, but yeah, if you wanted a real clear nail, especially encapsulating, this stuff will do it. It's, I think it was 20 bucks a jar. I had two, I gave my friend one. But yeah, I mean, you get quite a bit of uses out of it. That was the first real use out of this. But like I said, I think I'll be going hard gel now. So, enough of that one. We're gonna do the builder gel from BTR Box. So I'm gonna hit this with alcohol again. And it's cleared, so you can encapsulate with that if you want to. I just haven't decided what I want to do with these nails yet. I was just trying to build them, then decorate them in another video. Because why not? It's my world and you're here for the ride. So sit back and enjoy said ride. I will be painting on a slip layer. I will not go all the way to the cuticle with said slip layer because the next amount of gel I put on here is going to go wherever that slip layer is. So, and it's just a thin layer for a slip layer. Then the second layer, you don't cure this. You're going to put a bead up here, best you can. And you're going to float it down the nail. See, I've got my nail at an angle for a reason. You go back and forth real slow. You want to keep as many bubbles out of it as possible. And just float it down. You need to dip back in the bottle and get some more. You're going from side to side. As time goes on, you can get faster at this. But this is how you do it. The less you lose contact with the gel, you know, like I'm picking it up and bringing it down, the less air you're going to get in it. That's pretty much what's happening. And see, I don't like the apex on this because there's almost not one. So I'm going to add a little gel to the top right here. And then I'm going to flip my nail upside down. And it will naturally, you know, dip up under that nail and give you the apex that you want. See, the apex is there. But when you got it where you want it, the apex, you hurry up and cure it. Even if you're just flash curing, you cure it in place and keep your apex. See, that was a flash cure. And see, I have a slight apex right there where it needs to be. It needs to be from here to here. That's the stress point right here. So this is where it needs to be, and that all depends on how long your nail is, where the stress point needs to be. I am not a nail tech, but I do understand that concept. Now if you want more of an apex, add more gel, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go through and do the rest of my nails and I'll be back. Okay, heat spike. Wow. It put that heat spike on this solid gel to shame. Thought my finger was gonna explode. Jesus. And it's not fully cured yet either. Wow. Put way too much gel on there at one time. Jesus. Alright. Going in with some hard gel on this one. This is a slip layer again. So it doesn't have to be a thick layer. It's actually better to have it thin so you can judge what you're doing. And you come back with your bead of hard gel. Trying to be gentle to get less bubbles. Bubbles create weak spots. Another good tool to have is a liner brush. So you can get it to go where you want it. All right, upside down. Okay, I've got them all put on. Now I need to file them. I like to use a hand file first. This is a 100/180. And the first thing I like to do is come right here. Now this has already been scored, so it's not going to cut me. Right up beside the cuticle, or the sidewall rather. Then I like to come under the nail and go this way to perfect the shape. And I also go this way so it's not sharp under there. Then I'll go to the side. Alright, now when you're filing the tops of the nail smooth, you will see where it hasn't been filed all the way once you start going over it. I'll show you how in just a second when I do this. Okay. Now you can see in there where you see shiny bits, that's deeper than this, so it hasn't filed down to hit that yet. So I just file up and down until it's white too. It's all filed. And this is how I file my tips first, the free edge. Once that's filed all the way down, then I like to take my file and go short strokes over, go around the cuticle, which I will come back with my e-file and seal the cuticles. You don't want to file on one side too long. You'll make it uneven. See, it's still shiny right there, which means it's not smooth. And I've never filed this MG Art Gel, this solid builder gel, but it seems to file fine. It's not super hard to file. Alright, now this is the builder in a bottle here. Cute. The side walls. And underneath. Then the sides. And then the free edge on top. This definitely feels softer than this. You can hear it. Yeah, definitely harder on that hard builder gel, a solid one. I'm gonna file these up, shape them up, and come back. All right, I've done all the filing. I haven't buffed it, but I'm going to seal the cuticles right now with my 5-in-1 bit. And that just entails going all the way around the cuticle, making sure it's flush with the nail to help with lifting, to keep it from lifting. That's all you're doing. It's not a huge file job, it's just to seal it in. So I'm gonna finish that and I'll come back. Now that I've sealed the cuticles, I'm gonna buff it so there's not a bunch of harsh lines in it from filing it. I also file underneath so it's not so sharp. I'll probably take that point down at the end, round it a little. I don't want to stab my dogs, my cats. So I'm going to finish this and come back. Alright, we're all filed and buffed and ready to decorate. what will the design be is the question I have for you. I am letting you pick my design. So, whatever I get the most, whichever design I think sounds the best that you put in the comments is how I will design these nails. So, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Give me your ideas. And have a wonderful week, night, day, month, or year. This video will be put out Friday, and the design will be put out Sunday. So whatever you put in the comments on Friday and Saturday is what I'll be going with on Sunday. Well, actually I'll be doing it Saturday night. So you got Friday night and Saturday day. And then I'll be doing the design for Sunday's video. So thank you for coming and watching again, and can't wait to see what we're going to design. Bye, my little hotties.